What's going on, boxing fans? It's Pool Kind of Boxing coming at you with another video. Now, what we got here today is we're talking about boxing. Boxing always been about race. Look at the great Jack Johnson. Back in his era, he's one of the greatest heavyweight champions, and America couldn't deal with the fact that he was a big black man that was dominating the heavyweight division. So when we look at boxing, it's about dominating the combat in the world. So it's about dominance over all races. And the heavyweight champion represent the most dominant man on earth. So it means a lot to people when they see the heavyweight champion, what race he comes from, what kind of character that man has, and everybody wants the heavyweight champion to represent their race. So it really doesn't matter how much people tell you that, they're not biased. It doesn't really matter because their action tell you how much they hate on black fighters. You can see it's always some kind of over exaggerated critique. Somebody always have some hateful comments to say they could be the best at what they do, the best in their field, but it's always something that's off about any black fighter. You can have Ryan Garcia. He can get knocked down, he can duck fights, but yet he is still looked at as somebody who's going to be potentially a great fighter. Look at Canelo. They allow Canelo to duck. They allow Canelo to use political power to not fight the tough fights. So, and he's still considered a great fighter, even though his career is full of over-the-hill, cherry-picked champions. And at 31, in his prime, he still don't have to fight his rivals. But for everybody else, the Terrence Crawfords, the Jermell Charlos, the Errol Spence, all the black fighters that are great and could be the best in the world, they have to fight the dangerous fights. They don't get the pass. They don't get a reprieve. They don't get special treatment. Some of them are not even on the pound-for-pound list. Fighters like Jermell Charlo, who has 3 belts. He has 3 belts, and he's on his way to undisputed, and ESPN don't even have him on the pound-for-pound list. That is not by accident. That is white supremacy in action. If you don't have the complexion for the protection, then you will be downplayed. They will downplay your career. They will tell you that you are nothing. So if we can see a great fighter like Jermell Charlo, we can see a great fighter like Terrence Crawford, a great champion like Errol Spence, careers downplayed, then we know we have a problem. We have a problem in boxing. Boxing is about race. And no matter how much they say that you're playing the race card, you're not. Because you can all see it. We can all see it. They just don't want to admit it. And everybody pretends like there's no racism in boxing. But that's all boxing really is. And that brings me to the point which I'm trying to make. Is about Deontay Wilder. They are afraid of Deontay Wilder. They do not want him to come back and reclaim the WBC heavyweight title. Look how bad the media is running him down. Deontay Wilder did an interview with 78 Sports, and he talked about how the emotional trash. He talked about emotional trash that the media was spreading on him about how he's depressed and a lot of other things. His trainer Malik Scott helped him bring out more tools in his arsenal. And have you ever seen the media run down one fighter so bad? They're trying to make Deontay Wilder the Kwame Brown of boxing history. Calling him, saying he can't box, saying he can't beat Tyson Fury, and just totally trying to overshadow him and ignore him and make him smaller in our eyes, in his community eyes, in the world eyes. Even Americans are putting Tyson Fury over Deontay Wilder, and that is crazy because Deontay Wilder is a model heavyweight champion. He didn't cheat or do PEDs like Tyson Fury did. This is not alleged. He is a known cheater. So it's just amazing how people try to act like race isn't a part of this, because we know we've been dealing with it for 400 years. We know what racism look like. We know what it sound like. We know what it smell like. And it smell like you haters out there. Don't hide behind, you're trying to be objective. That don't work. We already know what time it is. So when you hear that, you already know we on code. So Deontay Wilder is gonna win because we already know that Tyson Fury cheated. Loaded gloves, bending at 90 degrees angles, and people are acting like they don't see it. See, even his dad don't want Tyson Fury to fight Deontay Wilder because he already know they can't cheat like that again. So the jig is up. I'll just let Tyson Fury dad tell you.
And then the last minute suddenly he's fighting Deontay Wilder.
It's diabolical, isn't it? You're geared up to fight one man, and all of a sudden on the 11th hour it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts in the hall of a boxing venue. They're around him like locust. And I think to myself, how can you think straight with all that around you? It's, for my money, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We can blame his team, can't he? No one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that's been rushed. He was fighting AJ. I wanted to fight AJ. I'm no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why has he got to fight Wilder? I told him on a phone conversation, chuck the belt in the bin, let him have it, come back and fight AJ on the 14th of August like was planned. But who am I?
Now what does that tell you? Remember, this has been Pool Cattle Boxing. Oh, don't go right here, Lord dog. You're savvy. See you guys in the next one.